Monday evening to you all. We're the Lightgate, and we're coming to you from the beautiful city of New Orleans in Louisiana at the United Public Radio Television Network and at 107.7 FM and the UFO Paranormal Radio Network at 105.3 FM. We are on Roku, Facebook, YouTube, many other applications as well. I am very, very excited tonight because a very, very good friend of mine. I've known her for a long time, and she is going to just be wonderful, and y'all are going to get wowed. There's lots to unpack here. Preston, it's to you.
Thank you, Dolly. Thank you all for joining us on episode 41 of The Lightgate. I am, of course, Preston Dennett, your host, author, and experiencer, and my lovely co-host is Dolly Safran, lifelong experiencer, subject of the book Symmetry. So excited, we're on our 41st show, and that is just amazing to me. We do have a really wonderful and special guest who you probably haven't heard of before because she hasn't really made a whole lot of public appearances really at all. But she does have some very, very interesting experiences to share. I know her pretty well. Dolly knows her much better than I do, but I am super excited. But before we bring her on, let me just say hi to all you wonderful people in chat, because it's because of you that we do this show, that we are able to do this show. And it's just so awesome and lovely to see you all. So let's start to see who we have here today. And we have videos from the underground, and love it. I love it, love it. And Doxy, hello. So awesome to see you. Hello, Janice Connett. Yes, we're going to have a great show here. We have a lovely group of people here in chat. Louise, hello. How are you doing? Who else do we have here? Hector Gonzalez from Queens, New York City. I stayed in New York City once for 2 weeks. It was the most awesome experience ever. Michael Kennedy. Hi, Michael. Hope you're doing well. And here is Dana Matthews. Hello, Dana. Who else do we got going on here? Ghost Hunter Joe. Yes, we're going to definitely be talking about some ghosts tonight, because our guest has had some really awesome experiences with her ghost research. And Christine. Hello.
Mine.
Always makes me smile. Hola, octopus with no friends. Not even SpongeBob? Maybe? Okay. You'll find a friend one day, I'm sure. Hello, Brian. Thank you so much for joining us. It's always awesome to see you here. Lunar Dove, hello. So many of you lovely people. Thank you so much. Natasha Stone, hello. And Kayleen White, all the way from Australia, all the way from down under. I've got a friend down in Australia. I wonder how she's doing. She married a sheep farmer. I miss her. Namaste. Thank you for your endless generosity. That is so kind of you. It's because of donations like yours that we are able to do this show. So thank you, thank you, thank you. You have my endless gratitude. Synthetic Nature, hello, and Fun Talks TV, and Allison Carr, and happy birthday, Kylie.
Happy birthday, Kylie.
It's my sister's birthday too. Wow. And I didn't forget to call her. So happy birthday. That's awesome. The Wild Berry Candy Company. That sounds really good. Hello, I'm going to have to check that out. I love wild berries. One of my favorite things ever, actually. Hello, Deanna. I'm so glad you could join us tonight. Oh, Yvonne. Wow. Very cool. I remember you, Deanna. We spoke too. Let's see. Who else do we have here? Real Badger. 41th. Yeah. 40. Did I say 41th? I probably did. 41st. I wouldn't put it past me. Hello, Just a Gen X Dirtbag Baby. You get the award for the best screen name. Hello, Orbeez. But I'm telling you, octopus with no friends. You might be tying with him. Okay. Hello, Orbeez. another friend of Yvonne. Yvonne, you have lots of people here. Okay, very cool. Kimberly Matthias and UFO Bigfoot and Regalo de Dios. I like that name too. Very cool. Catherine Four Feathers. Glad you could make it. Always awesome to see you here. And Terry, you guys just melt my heart every time I see one of these super chats. I feel so incredibly humbled and just grateful. So huge, huge thank you, Terry. It means a lot. It really, really does. Just when I say someone gets the award for best moniker, along comes rat food.
Oh, yeah.
Food. Very nice of you to join us. Oh, Dana, so kind of you. We love you too. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You guys are so kind. Oy vey. I'm going to cry one of these days, so please forgive me if I do. CT Guitar Guy. Hello, Jacques Dion. I could keep going, but I think we better get started. Okay, one more. John P. Adventures. Look at those emojis. All right, let's just get started with our show, guys, because yes, our guest is awesome. She's such a lovely person, got a wonderful sense of humor, super smart, and just an all-around amazing person with all kinds of really interesting experiences herself and research that she's done. And her name is Yvonne Watson. I think I'm getting that right. Some people say Yvonne. It's Yvonne, right, Dolly?
Yes.
Okay, Yvonne. And tonight we are so happy to welcome her. She's an experiencer and a paranormal researcher. And Yvonne has always had a fascination with the paranormal and the idea of life beyond this world, all the way since childhood, in fact. And she has experienced many paranormal encounters throughout her life. But it wasn't until much later when she had the need to reach out to a paranormal team for help and soon became a member of the group, actually assisting with residential and business investigations along with research. That's very cool. We'll definitely get into that. Yvonne started having ET experiences that she was consciously aware of in September 2016 when a strange photo appeared on her phone. And since then, her life has never been the same. She is currently studying all kinds of really interesting subjects, such as mediumship and quantum healing hypnosis techniques, and so much more. So we are very, very blessed to have her joining us tonight. And I will bring in our dear friend, Yvonne.
Hi, Yvonne.
Hi, Dolly. Hi, Preston.
Hi, Yvonne. Oh, wait, let me pop this up. Fun Talks TV. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
So awesome. Gosh, you guys, we're so lucky to have such a wonderful, devoted people watch our show. Sorry, Yvonne. Oh, wait.
No, that's okay.
One more. Lunar Dove.
Great audience.
Thank you, Lunar Dove.
Okay.
And remember, guys, get your questions early because we never get to all of them.
That's right.
If you do put them in caps, it's easier. It's not necessary, but it's definitely easier. All right. I'm beginning to ramble. So, Yvonne, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. Doing great.
Not too nervous, I hope. I always get a little nervous before a show.
Of course I'm nervous. Of course.
It's good. It's good. It gives you a little bit of energy. It keeps you awake, right?
Right.
All right. Gosh, where to start? I guess I'll just start with the beginning because I always like to ask guests, and we warned you, so I'm not blindsiding you.
Right.
How did this all start for you? Because for me, when I was a little kid, the paranormal was the farthest thing from my mind, even though I was starting to have paranormal events. I was always curious how it rolls up for a person to suddenly find themselves in this field, which is so expansive, so interesting, and so important, and just super interesting. So how did it start for you, Yvonne?
Well, I really, was raised in a very Christian background. So, we didn't really talk about ghosts or aliens or anything like that. But I do remember seeing ghosts as a child. I have all of that. I don't consciously remember ever seeing an ET or an interdimensional being. until, later in life when I realized after my experiences, I probably did experience something. I just don't consciously remember. I do remember in dream state, there would be somebody that would take me flying at night. Sometimes we'd go in the sky and sometimes we would go underwater. I do remember that vividly.
Oh, that's cool.
So,
Those are probably OBEs because when you're
yeah,
flying,
now exactly. I thought it was just a normal thing and or just a dream until when I got older and realized that other people had the same kind of experiences, and what it was an OBE.
well, let's go back for a second because you said ghost experiences as a little kid. Did you actually see stuff or hear
I
stuff?
did. I would see them. I would see them. I would be scared at night. I'd run to my mom and dad's bedroom at night. Don't remember my brother and sister ever doing that, but I did.
Oh,
And then as
that's
I got older, still experiencing paranormal, and I loved scary movies. There was no internet back then, so like scary movies kind of helped me try to, in my weird mind, try to figure out what was going on with me. But not until I was in my 40s and two of my daughters and their children moved in with me. We were in a house. We had some very major bad activity. And at that time, I had reached out to a paranormal team. So then everything changed for me. They helped me get the house clear. But I joined their team and started learning more and getting into it. And did a lot of research. And as you both know, you've seen the equipment. I dig the equipment and different experiments. I love researching and seeing what works and what doesn't.
Yeah. I would like to describe something to you. Yvonne has a wagon. It's a big wagon. A big wagon, okay? She unloads her car into this wagon and she starts dragging the wagon around. And the first time I saw it, I was like, what's in there? This is all my equipment. And I was like, really? And she starts pulling stuff out and I could not believe my eyeballs. She's equipped, really equipped. I mean,
Well,
you have
awesome.
everything. You have everything. Geiger counter, radiation detector. You've got EMP thing. You've got, I mean, you name it. Yvonne has it. She really does.
And after all that equipment and money I've spent, you know what the best tool is? Yourself, your own body.
It's true. Yeah, but I think the equipment is amazing because that
it is
allows us to bring science into it to a certain degree and gather evidence in a way that's objective.
Right.
At least partially objective.
Right. Because for a lot of times I'll see a picture, I'll see it, but I'm like, is this really real? You still question yourself. So like the more evidence you get, the more validation you get. That's how I've always seen it.
So has ghosts scared you as a kid? I mean, this wasn't something.
Yeah.
Because now you're like running towards ghosts, but then you were running away from them.
Right. Yeah. Now they don't scare me now. No, definitely not. I've investigated some scary things.
So did you recognize them as ghosts at that age when you were young?
Yeah, I did. My first one that I remember seeing was my great grandmother floating above me, and I would cry. At this time, I was living with my grandma, and I'd get up in the middle of the night, go back to your bed. There's no such thing. And that night I got up and grandma was already sitting on the stair. And she said, you saw great grandma, didn't you? And I said, yeah. She goes, she passed away. So I knew that, my grandma validated me then, but yeah.
Wow. Did you know that she had passed away when you saw her?
No, this was in the middle of the night.
Wow.
And
so it sounds like you have mediumistic abilities.
I do. I have found that out. I am in a mentorship program right now because things have really picked up in the last year as far as ghosts appearing to me, mostly in dreams. And for some reason, I get a lot of people that have been murdered. So I am I'll tell you one case. When I moved to Phoenix, this lady, she told me her name and there was like a detective with her. She showed me clothes and it was like a table with plastic bags and all this evidence lined up. And it just really stuck with me. It was so vivid, a lucid dream. And the next morning I'm like, it bothered me because she gave me her full name. So it took me a few hours. I kept digging for cold cases, missing persons in the area where I lived. And I found her and I was like, oh, wow, she really came to me. And it was an unsolved case from,
That gives me chills.
I know, from
It's pretty rare to get an
1992.
actual name.
Yeah.
You know?
Did she give you any idea what happened? Did she try to talk to you?
Yes, she was murdered. And I believe it was a serial killer because she didn't stop after that. I got the message that search for serial killers in 1992. And this man had been arrested and she was on the list as a possible victim. So,
Oh, wow.
yeah.
That's amazing.
But I am in a mentorship class with Thomas John, the seatbelt psychic on TV, who is a wonderful, wonderful teacher. So
Is that the guy whose link you sent?
I did. I sent his link
All
in
right.
case anybody else would be interested in taking his class. He is a great teacher, and you get lots of practice. I'm in his mentorship class and the forensic class.
Because I put that in the notes in case anyone wants to check that out.
Will you describe to me what forensics, what does that entail?
Well, the forensic mediumship is when a medium helps assist with law enforcement or, families on how to get the evidence or how to find the person. And Thomas teaches us, ethic wise, what things you should say and what things you shouldn't say.
Right.
So,
yeah.
He did a thing. He shows a picture and you have to say, we had to say if it was a dead or alive. And in this instance, there was a picture of a boy and it was black and white, good looking little cute kid, probably 10 or 11 years old. And he gives us 5 minutes and I'm looking at it. I'm like, oh, he looks too nice. He looks really nice. He's probably, a victim. And I'm like, nah, he's probably Eddie Haskell. He's probably sneaky. I think people really like him, but he's probably really evil deep inside. Can't trust him. And so I'm like, okay, I'm going to go with he's a killer. He's the perpetrator. And I'm waiting. And then I start thinking in my mind again, nah, he's really nice. And I clearly hear this voice. Nah, I'm a bad DTD. And I'm like,
oh gosh.
Clearly heard it. I'm like, okay, he's the murderer. It was Ted Bundy.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Holy smokes.
Well, my cousins lived right up the road from him. I mean, literally in the neighborhood, right up the street. No kidding. Freaked everybody out, even before you got caught. Yep.
Crazy.
Yep.
I mean, that just goes to show you really have to trust your intuition and what you're getting, huh?
Yep, you do. You really do.
I think that's the trick to a lot of the psychic stuff.
Yeah.
Because you ignore it. I remember parking once at a parking spot and I said, if you park here, you'll get a ticket. And I just ignored it because I looked and it said, well, there doesn't say no parking. I got a ticket. It did say it. I just didn't see it.
First intuition.
Now, when you're researching something like that, you keep a notepad and you write all your impressions down before you talk to anybody or anything. I mean, are you being taught to do that, or
I'm still in the class. I've only been there a few months, but he teaches us all the steps we need to take.
Cool.
And there's different techniques in he's teaching us different techniques because everybody, will be drawn to one certain way. So,
yeah.
All right. Well, let's go back to when all of this kind of really began for turning you into a researcher. You had a negative thing going on. What happened?
Well, the negative thing was going in the house. But how it ended is this picture appeared on my phone. So I was, and this is the first time it ever happened.
All right.
Uh-oh. Yvonne, you froze.
It was a tropical storm going on in Florida. And the electricity went out. And the other person that was with me said, hey, I'm going to stick our phones in the car and let them charge up so we can have our phones in case it doesn't come back on. So 3 hours go by. He gives me my phone. My phone's not charged and there's a picture on it. And I'm like, what is this? My phone's not charged. What is this? He goes, I don't know. I didn't touch it. That's what was on the phone. And it took me like 3 days to figure out what it was.
What was it?
Is this one of the pictures you sent to me?
The first part, the first picture I sent you.
Well, let me see. I'm not sure which one you're talking about.
Part one.
Oh, okay. We'll
with
pull that up.
yeah.
I think this
And
one.
my daughter comes up and asks what I was looking at and looks at it. She goes, "Mom, that's your bedroom in the background, except it's upside down."
Is this it?
And I like freaked out. I'm like, "Whoa, that is the bedroom." No. It's
Okay.
it's
Hold
got
on.
the bedroom shelf. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Hold on. I am honestly not sure which one you're talking about. The bedroom.
Remember when I showed you my bedroom, the picture, the first picture that was, it says part 1 in the email.
Oh,
So
is my room? Is that the one that's labeled here? Well,
yeah, my room.
Can you see these little ones below? Here.
No, she can't.
All right. This one?
Yeah.
No.
All right.
I don't see it yet.
Oh, you didn't see it pop up on the screen?
It's spinning.
Oh, all right.
So I am looking at this picture the whole time and trying to figure it out. And I'm taking it to my paranormal team. It's the one right before that. That's what my bedroom actually looked like. So you see the
Oh, okay.
bookshelf in the background. It looks like this being, no, not that one. This being is actually like standing on my bed or something.
Go the other way.
No, it wasn't even in there. That's the one right there.
Okay.
All right.
So you can see the shells in the background. And I don't know what it is. I don't know if I always thought it was the dark part and that there was like an eyeball.
There's a person. It's the side of their face with the hand across the mouth. It's the side of their face with their hand across the mouth underneath the nose. You can see the nose, the eye, the hand. It's a profile.
Huh.
And I find that really interesting.
Well, whatever it is, it took my phone through time and space and gave me an interdimensional picture of them, selfie of themselves. And
Wow.
I was obsessed with it. If you look and see, there is a photo. I put it in a frame and I would hang it up on my wall. I would look at it all the time, waiting for like something to tell me what it was or to appear to me and say, "Oh, that was me." You know, it never happened. I still,
you know what day in September that was?
But that picture was in a frame, and I think I sent you that.
Yeah. Do you know what day?
It was in September of during a tropical. I don't know. I think it was like a Thursday or Friday. I don't know what day it was.
Like toward the end of the month?
I would have to go back and look. No, it was the beginning. It was towards the beginning. Does that make a difference?
Yeah, it does. It does.
In terms of which picture you sent, you mean?
No, what it is.
Oh.
Oh.
All right.
Please explain.
Well, I'm going to have to give that information to do this. You realize that we met in just shortly after that, and by proximity, in other words, phoning each other first for the group that we're in, the CE5 group, and then I physically met you in 2018 at Deerwick for a CE5 that we all did. I don't know if you remember this, but I had just had my kidney transplant in September of 2016. And when I talked to you the first time, I don't know if you remember this or not, but I told you I already knew who you were. Okay. I somehow knew who you were. I was having premonitions about you and stuff. And if you saw me sitting in the hospital bed, that's basically what I did all the time. I laid there with my hand over my mouth. I didn't want to talk to anybody. The pain was so bad at first. That's all I did. And I was broadcasting out for company. And I'm wondering if I hit your phone somehow. I don't know.
Wow.
Does that look like me, dear? I can show you pictures of me in the hospital. That's my pose. That's me. So wow. I'm sorry. I could, I mean, if you look at me now.
I can't tell, Dolly.
That's my profile. I recognize myself. That's my face. See my forehead right there? And there's my nose, my eye,
wow,
and my hands. That's me. And I'm laying in the bed. I was broadcasting.
Honestly, it didn't even look human to me.
Wow. Well, thank you. Yeah. My hands are on my mouth. Yeah. But I was literally broadcasting for anybody to, like, I just was lonely. I was messed up. I was in pain. And my donor was the next room over from me, but we had just had the surgery on the 16th. Okay. And none one of us were going to walk around and talk to each other. And our mothers were so tired that we were by ourselves. And all I wanted to do was just lay there and get past the pain, because it's intense when you have a transplant, especially for me, because
Right.
what they
Yeah.
did. And I was broadcasting, and I was thinking about everybody and everything. And it's possible I hit your phone. I can do
Wow.
that. I've done that to 2 other
So
people.
was that a picture you intentionally took, or it just appeared there?
It appeared
Oh,
Huh.
all right.
on her phone.
Well, after that picture, I started seeing like interdimensional beings all the time. And the picture I shared with you, I think in the same email, that picture was in a frame, and I had went away to visit my dad for a week, and the kids were saying that they could hear footsteps and stuff in my bedroom. And I come back and I noticed the picture was dusty, and I noticed that there was like a profile somebody had drawn in there, and it looks like a being that is in that photo. I don't know how well it's going to show up here,
Okay. I think
but in the dark part through the dust. And I wish, back then, I wish I knew to take more pictures and better quality pictures.
Yeah.
But I mean, I was just still blown away by all the experiences that I was
so
having.
this is it. Like here's the eye, right? That's what you're talking about.
Yeah.
If I close up on it, you can see it maybe a little better.
Yeah. That's like the eye, and there's,
It's pretty
yeah,
interesting.
I wish I would have taken better pictures. I just was just blown away by what I was seeing. Like, this can't be real. This can't be real.
Well, spirits will do this, because I've got a bunch of cases where people will see little drawings on mirrors in steam or handprints.
Mhm.
Got
Yep.
quite a few cases of handprints.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
On a TV screen as well, just fingers going across it.
Yeah. Yep.
Windows.
I've seen those. Yep.
So
It happens.
I think they're intentionally trying to get noticed.
I do too. I do too. If you pull up the picture, it's like dark, and then it has, I drew in an outline with the
Okay,
purple.
I'm
That
gonna
was
do that
a interdimensional being that came through, that I actually saw with my own eyes. My daughter, I was at her house. She saw it too with her eyes.
Okay.
And I flipped the
This
picture, and I
one?
could.
So this is the picture, and then
Yes,
here, let me show you.
this is the picture. So I don't know if your audience can see it. Maybe
But
perhaps
here's
when they, right
the
there,
outline,
you
which
see
might
the
show a little
outline.
bit more clearly.
See, like the robe and the head. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
the cameras never quite do it justice, but
Oh, and this is back when they weren't that great a quality either.
Mm-mm.
So,
but it's
yeah.
certainly very interesting. So this was a spirit you were sensing, and this is a
I
photograph?
think it's an interdimensional being. I don't think it's a human looking thing. I didn't feel like it was human. But yeah, we both sensed it there. We both saw it, and I took a picture, and it came out. So
Yeah.
Wow.
Could it have been a shadow person?
no,
No.
I've definitely seen shadow people. That was definitely not a shadow person.
Okay.
Nope.
Did you get an
Shadow
ET
people
vibe from
for
it,
me.
maybe?
Huh?
Did you get an ET vibe at all from it?
Yeah, or interdimensional. I think a lot of them are interdimensional,
Right.
Um,
So this was when it was all beginning for you, and this is
that was the beginning when I started seeing them.
Yeah.
Then in 2018, I had an incident up in a cabin in North Carolina when I was with my daughter at her in-laws, and I was in a lot of pain. I felt like I was going to die.
oh,
I was in bed, so I'm in the basement, and the bedroom has 2 twin beds. My daughter's in the bedroom next to me, her and her husband. I woke up in the middle of the night, and I don't want to go into what my condition was, but I didn't feel like I was going to make it. We were up in the mountain, and I just prayed. I'm like, God, please don't let my daughter find my dead body in the morning. Please, 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 please don't let me die here. And I fell asleep. I woke up, and I couldn't open my eyes, but I could feel I was being moved. And I could hear a woman's voice in my head telepathically talking to me saying, Yvonne, it's okay. Don't move. Keep your eyes closed. It's important to keep your eyes closed. And of course, what am I doing? I'm trying to open my eyes. Like, what's happening? I could see light. So I could figure out there was like 3 beings, each of a different height. And then I felt myself being like laid down on a table or something. And she's continuing to keep me calm, but my heart's beating fast. And I'm just finally asking, who are you? Who are you? What is happening? And she's like, it's okay. Don't you remember you asked us to come? And then my body just relaxed. I'm like, oh, God sent you. Jesus sent you, your angels. And then I just like calmed down. And then I hear this like MRI, like a thump, 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 but it didn't sound like an MRI, but it was that kind of like thumping, but just in a different tone. And I could make out like a rectangular at the bottom of my feet coming towards me. And she said, I just need you to keep your eyes closed and just remain still. And then I could feel it as it got to my feet. And I don't know how else to explain this. It didn't hurt at all, but I felt like my body was coming apart in pieces and then coming back together. It's hard to describe. Oh, wow. And I think of like, the old Star Trek when they would come apart and then teleport somewhere. That's what I felt like my body was doing. And I was fine up until they got up close to my heart. And then she had to calm me down again. But it was over just like that. Then I felt myself, I didn't feel any hands on me, but I felt like I was like floating or whatever.
It sounds like a major UFO type thing.
I believe it was. And at that point, I felt myself being lowered in the bed and I'm begging, please let me see you. And they're like, no, you need to go to sleep. No. And I'm, please let me see you. I won't be scared. Please let me see you. And as I laid down, I wasn't able to move, but I was able to open my eyes. And I turned my head over because there was a bright like floodlight coming through the window. And I could see a being right inside the window. And he probably was 3 or 4 feet tall because he wasn't much higher than the windowsill. And I just stared at him and I could hear I'm like, this isn't real. This isn't real. And I could hear his clothing move, his jumpsuit move. When he moved, I could see the creases in his eye. He doesn't look like any being I've ever seen. He was very pastel green and he looked humanoid. He had, human ears. He had human nose. His teeth, when he smiled, looked human. His eyes were a blue I've never seen before. Just beautiful. It was very, very brief because I tried to get up and he's like, no, you can't move. You got to lay still. And I think he knew because he could, hear my thoughts. I wanted to get up and hug him. Like I wanted to touch him to see it was real. And I couldn't move. And I just felt the tears going down my face and I was crying. I'm like, you are so beautiful. And he's like, all right. It's time for you to go to sleep. I'm like, no. I have so many questions I have to ask. And then the next thing you know, I'm waking up the next morning. He just put me out.
And were you feeling better at that point the next morning?
I felt fantastic the next morning. I felt wonderful. Oh, wow. Of course, the next morning, I never took a picture. I told my daughter, of course, nobody else. My son-in-law already thinks I'm crazy. So I never took a picture, but I told my daughter, we both looked out there in the field and we saw where the spot was. But we never took a picture. Like, why wouldn't we have taken a picture? I don't know.
What do you mean you saw where the spot was?
Like there was a round imprint in the field where that ship probably landed.
All right. Wow.
Yeah. But I never took a picture.
What year?
And then a lot of people, it was 2018. Yeah.
Wow.
So that is the only time I've actually physically seen.
Did the being that you saw, I'm just wondering on a few details. Did you see the hair? Any hair?
No hair. Completely bald.
All right. And what
no hair.
Did you see what color their jumpsuit was?
It was green, just a tad darker than what his skin color was. But he was very light pastel. His skin color was red lips.
And just normal human looking for the most part?
Human looking hands. Yep.
Wow.
Except shorter.
And you sensed that there were 3 of them, though, at one point.
I only saw the one, and he was male. And the only voice I heard prior to that was a female voice. And I felt immense love, like more than I would love my own mother. Like it was very strong love.
Oh, see, now you just said something that I hear from so many people who said that they feel a love. People have different ways of describing it, but often they'll say something like a love like I've never felt before.
Right,
an overpowering love, a pure, compassionate love.
Exactly.
One that went beyond holding my own baby for the first time.
Yeah.
Things like that. That's amazing. Yvonne.
It was amazing.
That's a major encounter.
A beautiful, beautiful experience.
So, you were thinking it was angels when you woke up and you saw that being. Were you still thinking angels? Yeah,
because I think God and Jesus have something to do. I don't think they look human, So yeah, I still think that they had something to do with those beings that came to save me. I do.
Do you think they were ETs though, or do you think they were angelic beings?
I don't know.
Maybe they could be.
I have no idea.
There's no reason they can't be the same thing.
Right. Exactly.
Because I think a lot of we love terminology. We love putting labels on things.
Right.
And, there's all different kinds of beings. And some people are fully convinced ETs are demonic. Others are convinced they're angelic. And I think you follow a certain path and you can define yourself that way if you want. But I'm not so sure labels are even all that helpful because an experience is what an experience is.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And I think they're just like humans. There's evil humans too, So I'm sure there is bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And here's Rose saying, yeah, Preston, I would say angels are ETs. Well, it's interesting because Dolly, you mentioned this not too long ago and it struck a chord with me that angels in the Bible, when they appear to people, say the same things often.
Do not fear.
Yeah, I have no fear, no harm will come to you.
Afraid. We're not going to hurt you.
Right.
First thing out of their mouths. We're not here to hurt you. Yeah.
So at that point, you had never actually even seen a UFO, Yvonne?
Back in 2016, after that picture, when things started picking up, for the first time in my life, I did see a UFO.
Ah, you did? Okay,
yeah.
That's significant. What did you see?
Yeah. What did I see? It was, and one of my daughters was with me.
Oh.
And we did get it on film. I saw it changing colors, and we saw like purple things, lights coming out of it. But it did the whole zigzag, all of that. So that was my first time, and I've seen it many times afterwards.
Many times, really?
Yep.
Yeah.
So you kind of glossed over that a little bit. How did it appear? How did it disappear? What were you thinking?
I was excited. I ran outside with my phone and yelled at my daughter that was living with me at the time to come out there. And she's trying to see it through I'm looking through the binoculars and she's filming it. She's seeing something different than what I'm seeing, which was kind of funny.
That's interesting.
Yeah. And she was scared. She's like, "Let's go, Mom, before it comes to get us." I'm like, "No, let's see where it goes. Let's try to get it to come down here and land in the yard." I was so excited because it was my first time. So, yeah, but it just disappeared eventually. It just was gone.
All right, I'm playing with the comment to see if I can stop it from covering your face like that.
Hold on.
It's on minimal, though.
Is it?
Yeah.
I had I use Marco Polo quite a bit, and I had sent you some pictures. I think it was one of the first ones you brought up that are really weird looking. But they do, I feel like these, I don't know if they're spirits, if they're interdimensional, but they show up quite a bit. And I felt like this was like my team. Okay. So I'm on a road trip, and my friend Clark we're Marco Poloing back, and it's like 11:30 at night.
So for people who don't know what Marco Polo is, that's a messenger?
Oh, yeah. Only it's video. You don't type in it, you talk. It's a video.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's like
and you go back and forth.
Yeah.
So I'm driving, and all of a sudden and we're in conversation. All of a sudden he's calling me, goes, Yvonne, you need to pull over. There's something in the car with you. I'm like, what? He's like, pull over. There's something in the car. And I'm like, I can't, I'm on the highway. I can't do it right now in a major city. And he's like, you got to pull over. I'm telling you, there's something in the car. Something just Marco Polo'd me from your phone. And I saw it. Well, he actually screenshotted it really quick. And if you look at the times, like when I looked, you can't make it out at all. So, and they all look different, and they're all at the same time, 10:58 p.m. And I'm like, after I pulled over and looked at him, I'm like, well, Clark, that's just the inside of my car. That's the roof of my car. I started taking pictures. That's not the roof of my car.
It looks weird. I can't make out what it is, but
I don't know. I don't know. But I felt good. I was singing at the time before my own little karaoke show on my road trip there. I was feeling good. I don't feel it's negative whatsoever. I felt like it was like my team, and they were just appearing to him. When he and I get together, we see a lot. We always see UFOs together. So
very cool.
One of your audiences saw a face. That's cool. Yeah, I thought that it was a face too.
Thank you, Janice. Thank you very much. Well, that's cool. So,
and then,
did you sense anything yourself when he's saying, he's seeing this? Did you sense anything?
I felt like it was my team. I felt like it was my team.
Your team meaning like your
my
guardian
guides,
spirits or your ETs?
My guides, my guardians. Yeah.
Whatever you want to call them.
Whatever you want to call them. Yeah. That's always with me.
Very cool.
They may not be the prettiest things, but they sure are fun and funny.
So did you ever explain how, because you said it started out with a negative experience, and that's what made you join this paranormal team?
I didn't really want to get too much in that. I mean, it got to the point where even my grandkids were being attacked, and I didn't want to get back. I don't really like to talk about the negative stuff and get into it.
All right,
but that's how it did start. Yeah, that I reached out for help. I've had several negative experiences prior to that.
All right. Well, when you have mediumistic abilities, spirits are attracted to that, and that includes all kinds.
I have found that out. Yeah.
You're learning to protect yourself, though, right?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Definitely do that.
Very cool. Well, you did send me one photo, which is so amazing, involving your dad.
Oh, yes. I love my dad's story. My dad passed away in
if I can find a picture.
2020. And he was one of my best friends, loved him dearly.
Here he is.
He passed away, and Preston will show you a picture of what my dad looks like. And I always, the couple of years before he died, I was sharing with my experiences with him. I'm going to start tearing up when I talk about it.
He looks like such a nice guy.
He really was. He still is. Would share my experiences with him, the paranormal when I got into it, and also my ET experience. And, he never told me I was crazy. He'd always say, Yvonne, I don't understand what you are doing. I don't understand what it is, but I fully support you. And I believe that you believe it. And when he passed away, I was there, me and my brother and my stepmom, and my brother and I, and I'm sure my stepmom felt it too. We felt him. I felt him hug me, and I, felt him quite a bit. And I feel he's always around. On the pictures that I'm sharing with you, I was doing a Zoom call, and we were with my friends, and we were doing like an investigation. So I put up my game trail cams up to see if I caught any spirit activity while it was happening. And I did not know it until I checked my cameras the next day, but my dad appeared. And
was that the one in the picture?
Yeah, well, the night prior to that, he was actually on my arm. I show that awful picture of me, but
all right. I'll pull that one up first.
Yeah, I didn't see that one, but if you look on my arm, it looks like a
Right here?
Yeah. I don't know if you can zoom in or not, but I can see that's my dad's head right there
Yeah,
on
okay.
there. And I don't have a
Yep.
tattoo of my dad
Okay.
on there. Yeah.
So let me see if I can.
Oh yeah, there's his eyes.
Yeah. You see
Yeah.
him just speaking
You see
above.
his face.
Yeah.
Right here?
Right. Yep.
Wow. That's very interesting.
Yeah.
I keep bouncing around.
So that happened. That was probably, I think, the day before the one that you're going to see, because I'm not wearing the same clothes. But the picture you just had up, you can put that up there. So my dad wrote me. My dad loved to write poetry, and he wrote me a poem about me, and presented it to me for my birthday, probably a few years earlier. And I had it hanging up on my wall there. You can see I'm sitting there, and on that poem in the frame is my dad's
Face.
face. Yeah.
Look at
And
that.
that's
Yep.
not on it. It showed up. I remember when you showed me this.
Right. And I did send you
And I
a
thought, like,
picture
oh my
of,
God, yeah.
Just so people know what the actually looks like.
right.
There's
So
the poem
that's what it looks like. Yeah. And that's the poem.
right
There's
here.
no picture of my dad there. Yeah.
And if you go back to this picture, this is astonishing. Look at that. That's
Yeah. And I
you
think I
zoom
gave
it?
you a close up of it. Yeah. I think
Yeah.
I sent you a zoomed up
You
picture
sure
to
did.
share.
There
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
is.
There it is.
It's your dad. He showed
That's
up.
Yeah.
oh, amazing.
Came through for me and showed me, yes, it's here. I'm here. There is life after.
I mean, that
And
is not
since
pareidolia. You cannot blame that on a reflection or anything. I mean, that is
no, there,
amazing.
yeah.
I mean,
Thank you, Janice. Thank you. I do feel blessed. I feel very blessed to be able to see my dad like that. And I feel him all the time and communicate with him in my dreams. And I'm just so happy that he came through for me and showed himself like that.
yeah,
I sent you another picture on the other cam I had set up
I
in the
like
other
this one. I
room.
want to dwell on this one for a little bit. Look at that.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah. I
mean,
love
that's
that one.
amazing because people send pics all the time to me of clouds and stuff, and I'm like, well, yeah, you can see a face in a cloud. There's no way.
Yeah,
I mean, and what I like about this pic is from a distance, you can actually see it.
you can see it. Yeah.
Super
Oh yeah,
clearly.
there's no mistaking what it is. Absolutely.
That's
Right.
crazy.
It's too bad that he can't tell me how he did that, right?
Because when my mom passed away, and I was, of course, completely devastated. Really, at the time she died, I had no idea of life after death or anything, and I was trying so hard to get her to do something. And I was playing my guitar in my easy chair in my condo when my answering machine, the light flicked off and then on at that speed. It wasn't a flicker. It went off and then it went on. And so I stopped playing the guitar and I started telling him, like, is there anybody here? No, Mom. And at that point, the answering machine went beep for about 3 seconds, which it can't do and has never done. And I thought, okay, Mom, if that's you, because it still wasn't good enough for me. I'm like, if that's you, I have these brass statues on my toilet. Move those, and then I'll believe it's you, which is a ludicrous request. These are heavy brass statues.
Right.
And it was the next day. I think it was the very next day. I heard this crash. I'm sitting in the living room thinking, well, what was that? So I went to my bedroom. Nothing's out of. I went in the hallway. I went in the kitchen. I'm like, well, I don't know. I know I heard something. And I went to the bathroom about an hour later, and all those statues were on the floor.
Wow.
Like you, I didn't think of taking a picture. When something happens like this, you're like,
yeah.
No, I so regret not having taken a picture of this because that was my ultimate proof that she was around. But Yvonne, a picture.
Yeah.
That is insane. Wow. He's probably watching this show right now and saying,
oh, I'm sure.
That is crazy. All right. Sorry. I had to draw on that because that's,
no.
You don't get a lot
It
of
is amazing.
cases of that clarity. I mean, that's absolute clarity.
Yeah. Yep. It is.
All right. People are going like, wow.
Well, why don't we hop to the EVPs and I can
All right. I'm sorry, all these cool little notes from people. Your dad loves
thank
you.
you, everybody. Thank
He's
you.
giving you confirmation.
Yes, he
A
sure
love
was.
must be separated by death.
That's right.
Rose says, I had a spirit appear to me in a similar way, standing behind a TV announcer. Very
Oh,
cool.
wow.
I'm telling you, they're around us all the time.
I believe that too. Absolutely believe that.
Yeah, well, Dolly often jumps up and says, no, they're here. Can you smell that? I'm like, no, what do you? I smell my dad's cologne or your
I
brother.
know when they're. I always get the smell first. I can smell them first, and then all hell breaks loose. Cabinets open and close, doors go crazy. Things happen. The dog starts to freak out. The cat. It gets a little weird around here. Preston's brother was trying to get my attention in the house.
Well, I had an experience when I came to visit you all. Preston's brother also showed up when I had that app.
I know.
And
I just sent Preston a picture of him. EVP, one of those spirit camera things. Look on your messenger, Preston. I just sent it.
All right. It'll take me a second, but I can get it.
Didn't lightning strike also?
Yes.
The lightning hit the back
Yes.
door?
It was weird. I know. It got
Yeah.
weird. I'm going to send you another one. I got it's a picture of my mother in spirit with my niece. Hold on a second.
All right.
We had a lot of people visiting us, and I got one of my brother too. My brother showed up. It was weird.
I got the picture. I'm going to put this under your name, Dolly, so I can pull it up.
I'm sending the other one right behind it. There we go. That's
on
my
the
mom's.
pictures that they're going to show everybody. It's an app that I use called Spirit TV Box Ghost ITC app. So it's I don't think that you can get it if you have Apple, but Android you can get it in the Play Store. And a lot of apps I use, I try out. I am on Facebook with a lot of UK paranormal research groups because they try out different equipment and kind of show what they're doing. I don't see this out there a lot, but I get really good communication. And the pictures, you got to be careful because sometimes I will like see, I had like an Indian face and I actually saw somebody else had the same face. So you don't really know, you start questioning yourself. But on some of these, go ahead.
I'm going to pull up the image of the one you sent me.
Yeah.
I think, is this the one that's connected to an EVP?
That one is an amazing EVP that I had when I was in the Sandia Mountains in New Mexico. It was a German woman voice, but it looks like she's with a group of people. But it was the most amazing EVP ever if you play that.
What's the app again? Janice is asking.
Oh, it's called Spirit TV Box Ghost ITC app.
All right. Hope you can get that. Janice, Spirit Box Ghost TV app. Okay, so do I need to pull up the EVP now? Let's see.
Yeah, the EVP part. And let me see if I can get this.
Let me see if I can find that one because you sent me. Is that the one with the camera playing?
And if you do, yeah, it kind of shows my pink shirt. I'm doing it on a tablet, so.
Oh, okay. I think I see it. Hold on. Okay. I don't know if you guys can hear this or not.
Okay,
this
is what it would normally sound like. This isn't the one.
Hold on, let me stop. This isn't the one?
That's what it would normally sound like. Yeah, no, that was after the lady, and I'm trying to still communicate with her. That's what it would normally sound like. You'd have the psh, 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 and it wouldn't be clear. Okay. Now, this app will also allow the spirit to take a picture of themselves, and that's how you get the picture, and it'll display on there.
Preston, I'm sending you one of your mother. Okay, it's the very
and then
last.
If you play the other.
All right.
If you play the other EVP, you'll be able to see the woman. And in the private chat, I think I put the Spirit Box app name so people can look for it.
Okay, so you want me to play the audio one? It's audio only?
No, you should have had 2 with that, right?
No, I only got the one.
Oh, I can send it. Hold on a minute. Sorry, I didn't send them both. Give me a second. Oy vey. All right. Wait, let me pick it
And
up.
Preston, in the private chat, I put what the app name is.
Oh,
I
okay.
guess I should put it in the other chat, huh?
Yeah.
Damn it, I'm doing it the wrong way. Hold on a second. Let me pull it up the right way. Sending stuff and it's complicated. I'm trying to follow a conversation and it's like, oh my God. Okay, hold on a second.
I'm trying to download these pictures. We should.
Okay, I sent that one, and this is the first one. I'm going to send you.
Save image.
See if I can send it. Hold on a second. Oh, heck. Okay, hold on. Let me see if I
You're sending
can.
me images, Dolly. I don't see any.
For those that do download or use a ghost app, I highly recommend that you put your tablet or your phone in airplane mode so
All right,
you
I
don't
just
get
sent
the
it.
Wi-Fi interference. Oh, did I say that already?
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, okay, I got it. So let me just download this one, and I'll get it to you guys in a second.
Okay, and all the ones that I sent, those are the ones that we did in our house with Yvonne. And it's
All
your
right.
family mostly. My brother showed up. Your mother showed up. Your brother James showed up. Jamie did. And then your mom in those pictures. And then there's one of my mom and my niece together.
Okay.
And they look like they're walking side by side, and it freaked me out. I was like, whoa. Okay.
All right, I found the video. Now I just need to pull this up, and we should be good.
Okay.
Dunga, 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 dunga. Okay. Oh, nothing's ever easy, is it?
no.
Because I don't see it now. Well, so I don't see it.
I sent it.
I know. I'm just having trouble pulling it. Let me just download it again. Or two. Okay. I'll get it there. Keep talking.
Okay.
Yeah. I sent a picture. Okay. So those are all those pictures. The one
All right, I see it.
of his brother freaked me out. Okay.
So let me see. All I have to do is get to it now. It's going to take me a second. Sorry, my computer.
It's okay.
I don't know why it's not pulling up. There we go.
There we go.
All right, hold on. Hey, as soon as I said there you go, you said the same thing.
I said the same thing.
Okay, let me add that. Is that
Play.
right? I don't think that's the right one, is it?
That looks like the same one.
Yeah, hold on. Let me just close this, remove that, and I will try again. Sorry, guys.
There we go.
Yeah, that's this. I'm going to remove that and stop the share and start the share again because that's the only way I can bring it on. So there it is. Got it. I'm going to pull it all the way to the front, bring it on board. Here we go. All right. So now let me make sure you guys can hear this when I start it.
There we go.
I heard it.
I couldn't hear you before. That's nothing on.
Oh, it's not?
Are you still no, it shouldn't be.
I heard something though.
I hear an answer.
No, there's no mistake that it's this lady. No mistake at all.
All right, well, those are the only ones I have with video.
Yeah, those are the only two you sent me.
Okay.
But I do have just plain audio.
I don't think it's the same one.
Here's the one that's just audio that you sent me. It's hard to hear.
That's not pertaining to this. Let me see can I try to play it here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see.
I couldn't hear you before. Why? I want to go to heaven. I never forget. I'm very tired of that. I'm here. I hurt. I don't Christ. I'm scared. I'm so sad. It's so dark. It's very haunted. Trust me. I'm afraid.
Oh, that's
Lasted
really
like
cool.
30 seconds, clear as day. It was amazing.
That sounds like when Norman was talking to us at the thing.
This lady was clearer than Norman. She's
Really?
Well,
Yeah.
can you load that up again so we can hear it again? But first, I need to take a quick station ID break
okay.
and let everyone know that you are watching The Lightgate. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Preston Dennett, your host. My lovely co-host is Dolly Saffron. Our guest today is Yvonne Watson. She's an experiencer and ghost researcher, has had all kinds of really interesting experiences. We've talked about an amazing, what I'm going to call a UFO healing, or perhaps an angelic healing. UFO sightings, some of her ghost encounters. We've still got some really more interesting experiences that we haven't covered yet, but we will be getting to those. But I do want to let you know that we are streaming live on United Public Radio Network at 107.7 FM from the beautiful city of New Orleans in Louisiana, and also on the UFO Paranormal Radio Network at 105.3 FM. I should have those call numbers memorized by now, but I'm always checking my notes. We're also streaming on Roku, so that's very cool and such an honor. We are on YouTube as well and Facebook. So thank you all for joining us. We have another hour. I flagged some of your guys' questions and we'll get to them shortly. But if you have any, please chime in. It's always interesting and fun to interact with you guys. So please keep those questions coming. And Yvonne just played this really awesome and honestly, Yvonne, a little bit spooky EVP. And can you play it? Explain again what we're going to hear, and then play it again.
Dolly, I sent it to you again through Messenger to see if you could bring it up so they could put it on the screen. It might be able to hear it better. So I was in the Sandia Mountains with some friends. They were walking up to the cave, and I stayed behind, and I was meditating. And in those mountains is the Ponte ETs. So I felt I was being touched when I was doing my meditation. So I decided to bring up my tablet and open the app up and try to communicate with something that's around there to figure out what it is. And this woman's voice came through. So as I get that EVP and the group comes back, I'm like, you all got to hear this EVP I got. And the girl that's the medium that's there, you didn't get it.
If you play it, Yvonne, we can hear it just fine. I heard it.
Okay. All right. I'll do it again. She said, did she have a German accent? I'm like, yeah. How did you know that? So apparently they were communicating with her up in the cave that they were in also. All right. So I'll play it again.
Play it again.
I couldn't hear you before.
Oh, it's not the one.
There we go. I couldn't hear you before. Are you still here, lady?
Now this is paranormal because now it's not there. And I just played it. You all heard it. It's not there.
And it's not coming to my thing.
It's gone. Wow. We've just experienced the paranormal. So we will not be hearing it again tonight.
I
That's
heard the
crazy.
Spirit Box app is one of the very best EVP recorder apps.
Yeah. Yep.
I'll have
So
to
you
check
had
it
a-
out.
Okay, talk about the time we were at Deer Lake and you were handing me all your equipment. We were set up for a big CE5, okay? And we hadn't
Right.
started the CE5. It's just starting to get dark. And we were all getting comfortable. And Yvonne starts handing me all this stuff. Okay. First she
I had
handed
the Ovilus is what I was using at that time.
right.
Yeah.
And when you turned it, you handed it to me and said it'll come on. It was on, but you said it wouldn't come on and it'll light up, and then it might say something. Okay, and I'm listening to it, and all of a sudden I hear, "Hey, hello," and I said, "Who is this?" And it said Norman, and I'm like, and you're looking at me weird, like, what the hell? Nobody's ever said their name like that ever. Okay, and I said, "Hey, Norman, what are you doing?" And he said, "I'm here. I'm hanging out here with you." And I'm like, oh my God. And then he got real quiet for a minute. And then he starts doing this weird thing where, beware, somebody's coming. Somebody evil is coming. And I'm like, what? And we think it's Norman talking, but then it switched out. The sound was different. And it was some entity telling us somebody's about to come there and they're evil. And this car drove up right after it said that. And this person,
Let's not mention any names now.
yeah, I'm not going to call names, but this person drove up and it was going bad, evil. It could hear it. This person could hear it talking about this person as he got out of the car. And we're like, I'm shutting it down at this point. I turned it off. Okay. I was like, no, it's not going to shut up. So after the CE5, we turned it back on again and Norman was back. And Norman was very chatty. He wanted to hang out with us. And it blew my mind. We had really bad storms that night into the next day. My tent totally soaked. I had to go sleep in my car. Yvonne somehow stayed dry. And we packed up to leave. And lo and behold, Norman decided to follow me home. And Preston, you remember when you OBE'd to where I was staying on the beach after the hurricane hit and you met that guy? Well,
Yeah.
Norman was there too. And yeah, Norman was hanging out. And Norman decided I wanted to get rid of Norman. I couldn't get him away from me after that. And somebody said, I'll take him. And I said, okay, cool. And I told Norman who this person was. He's on the phone with me right now. Follow the signal. And he showed up that day to this person's house and started kicking stuff off the walls. And I was like, okay, good. I'm done with Norman. It was crazy. And then you came to our house and you brought all your stuff. I want you to show us pictures, Preston.
All right, I'll pull them up right now.
You put the EVP thing on and the spirit box photography thing. And somebody from my family showed up, and my mom did with my niece. But then his family showed up. And the one, I don't think Preston realizes, he didn't realize it then. I want him to be shocked. Because one of them is his mother. And you can tell it's her.
And just as it was talking, Preston was able to identify his brother.
Brother Stephen, yeah. And he had another brother.
Only Preston would
Jamie
know.
showed up. Yeah, Jamie showed up too. And my brother showed up.
All right.
That's Jamie. That's Stephen.
No, I don't think Stephen had passed by that point. So
Yeah, he had. He was gone.
No. This is somebody, but no, my brother Stephen had not passed at that point.
Okay. That's Jamie.
So here's somebody. I mean, you can see a face.
Yeah, I know. Well, maybe that one's my brother.
Oh, hold on. Let me see if I can get that better.
Yeah, sometimes it's not good to blow it up. You can't. It's hard to see.
Yeah, that's Jamie.
And here is the one, I think.
That's your mom. See her eyes at the top and her lips and her nose is sort of like in the middle? That's your mom.
It almost looks better if you squint a little bit, but
yeah,
you can definitely see an image there. For those who are listening on the radio, these are images that come through. What do you call it? Is this the same app, the Spirit?
Yeah, it's the same app. Yep. So as they're talking, you can ask them to take a picture, and a picture will appear.
Yeah. For those of you who are just listening, you can actually. It looks like a fuzzy TV screen filled with, static.
Right.
As if you were. If the antenna wasn't working just barely, but you actually do see a face. I mean, you could see the lips, the nose, the mouth, the eyebrows, even. I mean, there's no doubt. And yeah, as Doxy says, I can see a beautiful woman's face. My mom was really beautiful. I might be able to.
You look like her.
Well,
Well, not feminine, but you know what I'm saying. You look like your mother's eyes. Yes.
it's pretty cool. Yeah, that was a pretty interesting app.
Okay, now do the next one because there's my mom walking with my niece.
Oh no,
No, go back the other way. One
Oh,
more. One more.
I think that's all you sent me. Yeah.
Oh,
Unless
that
you.
makes me mad because I sent them to you. Wow.
Oh, hold on. Let me see if I can pull them up because maybe you did, and I just haven't gotten to them yet. No, that's all I got.
Mm.
So you sent me another video, or is that the same?
Well, we're going to talk about Laughlin soon, I guess.
All right.
And,
I sent you a couple other EVPs that you had brought up. One's a very quick one. I was moving to Arizona from Florida and didn't check the weather. So there was an ice storm in Texas. And my daughter was helping me, but we were stranded in Texas for 5 days. I have a friend, Lana, if you're listening, I love you, who definitely has to check my map. Okay. And there's a couple other friends that do that too. But Lana said, if you don't call me, I'm going to call the police. I'm going to call the police. She did call the police because we had to sleep in the U-Haul in the ice storm, and the police did show up to our U-Haul. She had my last location, and he said, "Are you Yvonne Watson?" And I'm like, "Yeah." He goes, "Your friend Lana called. She was concerned about you." I'm like, "Oh my God." So when Lana was trying to call me, my phone called her back. Mind you, my phone was turned off. Called her back and left her a voice message. And on that little clip, let's see if you can figure out what it's saying.
Is it the audio only, or is it?
Yes, just audio, and it's real quick.
Oh, okay. That's going to take me 1 second because I pulled up the wrong one.
Oh, well, did you
it
bring up? Does it say Columbus, Texas? The other one you pulled up?
Here, let me pull up this one. And,
Okay.
And this isn't going to be a share screen because I don't think I can. Maybe I can share this. Let me try. Window. Oh yeah, I can. So
the other clip was in the hotel room on Marco Polo. Let's see, that might be the quick one.
So I think this is a quick one.
I'm fine. That's what you said. I'm fine.
It says Yvonne's fine,
Yvonne's
and it's
fine.
not me.
All right, let me play it again. Play it again, Sam.
Oh, yeah, Yvonne's fine. Okay. Wow.
Okay, everyone be quiet. Let's hear it one more time. Yeah, I hear it. I definitely hear
It kind
it.
of sounds like my voice, right?
Yeah, it does.
It was like my higher self calling her, letting her know I'm fine. Don't call the police anymore.
Wow. Was it a U-Haul moving trailer or a U-Haul camper?
Yeah, it was a U-Haul It was a U-Haul truck with my car on a trailer in the back. Yeah.
Oh my
And
God.
we
And you
slept
slept in the U-Haul.
Home Depot.
U-Haul. What was inside the U-Haul? Couches and stuff?
Everything I owned, yeah. All my stuff. I was
Were you
moving.
warm? Oh my
to
God,
Phoenix.
it's freezing. Wow.
All right, now I've got this other one, which
Crazy.
is
The
a
other
video.
one was
It's
the
about
same
20
trip. We're in a hotel room in Texas, me and my daughter. My daughter's in the shower. There's no radio on. There's no TV. And you only need to play the first 20 seconds because it's me talking. So you have to listen carefully because
Is that this one?
there's a man. Nope, that was the one we were trying to bring up earlier, the EVP.
All right. Well, let's play this one then. Okay, because I've got it up. So.
There we go. I couldn't hear you before. Ron, are you still here, lady?
No, that's the other one.
So what are we hearing with this one?
That was the example one of after I talked to her.
All right, so we're not really hearing anything in there.
Yeah.
No.
Delete it.
All right.
That Penny keeps showing up.
I'm just not sure
But
which
on the
one.
one that I thought you were going to bring up, so I'm talking to Lana on the Marco Polo, leaving my message, and in the background you hear a man talking, and all I can make out after I say I just got out of the shower, he says, "Thank you." He gave me a heart on, and he's continuing to talk, but I can't make out what he's saying. I've never done the audio, but he's talking like for 40 seconds. It's crazy. Crazy. And I'll get that a couple of times. Just recently, I was talking to Marco Polo, and my friends could hear a voice. It was a man's voice in it sounded like a British accent. He said, "Oh yeah," like he was agreeing with what I was saying. So every once in a while, I'll get like a voice in the back of my Marco Polo talking. Yeah.
Very interesting.
I'm sorry. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Those are the only videos I have. But I do have that other. Can I show the shadow? Is it a shadow being in your bedroom?
What
Is
is
that-
it?
Here, well, let me.
I thought we
I have
showed
to stop
everything.
this. No, there's the one where you're like, hold on, let me pull it up. Because some sort of interdimensional or shadow being. You'll see it. You'll recognize it when I pull it up here. It is right here. Boom, boom, boom. This one.
That was my bedroom that I took to show that the bookcase is there. So there's
Oh,
like nothing
oh.
there. Yeah, it's just my messy
Oh.
bedroom. I wanted to take a picture of it
Oh, I see.
to show
Okay.
that being, I had my camera upside down. Yeah.
Oh, all right. So that's this picture.
And that picture was this taken on the other camera that my dad appeared on. And I don't know what it is, but that's not my apartment in the background. And I don't know. It's like a looking into another dimension. Have no idea. It looks like there's a door behind the white light on the other side.
It is very
Like stared
interdimensional.
at for hours. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Very cool. All right. Well, maybe we should talk about the whole Laughlin experience because that was super cool as well.
Let's do Laughlin. Yeah.
All right.
So Dolly came out west after I moved to Phoenix, and we went to a conference. Well, and that's the first time I met Preston also that year. And we
I
had
flew
our
all
own
the way
little
from
experience.
Panama City, Florida, and it took me 2 plane rides to get to Las Vegas, where you picked me up, and then we drove from 11 p.m. at night. Well, no, 9:30 through the Mojave Desert all the way to Laughlin in the dark. And by the time we got there, I was gone. I'd been up all the night before, and then all that day and into the night. And we decided to go out and sit on the back patio outside. And Yvonne had her camera out first, and I'm so tired, I don't even know what I'm doing. And then I
We
realized,
both
oh
were.
my God, Kala is out there. Yeah. And so you were the one who was with me. These are the notorious films of Talata up in the sky. And
Yeah.
All right. So you want me to play the video now?
yeah.
All right.
Play the video or show the picture.
Yeah.
Let's play. Video is always more fun. So let's play the video. And this is at Laughlin in what, July 6th or something?
No, it was June the 6th.
June
It was
6th.
June.
Yeah.
In 2021.
2021. All right. And this is right outside of Contact in the Desert in Bullhead City.
Come here, look at my
Right.
camera. He's gonna do a flyby. I asked for it, we're getting it. They told me to start looking. Andrea.
So this is Yvonne and Dolly are here watching.
We're at an
And Yvonne's-
Airbnb. Yeah.
Yeah, and she's got my camera in her hand because I was just tired. I was busy watching everything that was going on.
Well, my phone was dead. My phone died. I remember.
Yeah, I was so tired, so tired.
So what were you thinking, Yvonne, as you're watching this?
Come here, look at my camera.
I was seeing a UFO. We had some other photo videos too, because it kept going and it was
I asked for it, we're
doing
getting
the old zigzag.
it. told me to start looking.
Yeah, he was busy. There were 3 of them up there actually, and Talata was doing the flying, and then there was another one that was uh, getting ready to drone drop, and then Talata took over and he did drone drop. And I think the next film is the one of Talata drone dropping.
All right.
And what was amazing is on the news the next day, they had reported a UFO sighting in the area.
Yeah,
So that was pretty
in
cool.
Las Vegas. Yeah, and they gave the time that I
Yeah.
flew in.
We watched that actually, and
Yeah.
never could find it after that.
Yeah, they took it down.
Okay, I'm gonna
So-
have to take this
Really?
off.
Yeah, we can't find it anymore. It's gone. So yeah, they do that to a lot of stuff that I have evidence for. It disappears.
Okay.
And the only backup I got is that Preston saw it, and you saw it, and
Here, look at my camera. I see it.
okay, not that one.
Not that one.
Mm-mm.
Here, look at my camera.
All
No.
right.
I'm gonna
Well, that's
talk
the
to you.
same one.
Oh, well, let me find the right one then.
No, wait, that's the same one. So hold on.
All right.
I know what
I'll
you're
give you the
talking
right one.
about.
Yeah.
No, I have it. I have it right
Okay.
here.
Okay.
So let me just pull it up. It's 56 seconds long. So let me present, share screen. I'm getting better at this, believe it or not. There it is. Boink. Doink.
You can just start
Okay.
playing.
Here we go. All right. Now you can see a little dot.
Yep, there he is. He's dropping jobs. It's one of the guys.
So you're both there watching this.
Yeah.
I was on Coast to Coast
Mm-hmm.
that night. I wanted to be there, but I couldn't.
Good. Ha.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Oh, come on. You can let me see. Thank you.
So you were watching this, Yvonne, right?
Yes. Yep. We're sitting in the backyard.
Ah.
We must have been trying to zoom in. That must be what's happening there.
Yeah. Those were real long drops. He was dropping 4 at a time, and he dropped 16 total.
I'm so tired.
It's very cool footage.
If you want to show some of the stills that we took, I got a couple of really good stills of him actually with a drone about to fall to drop it. His shape and all that stuff.
All right. My computer's being a little bit picky, but I can definitely, I'll have to stop the share and pull up the picture manually. I have the stills that Yvonne sent me.
Oh.
But let's see. Okay, here's one of them. It's not, it just shows pretty much a white dot.
No. No. Okay, hold on. I sent you 16 pictures.
Just on Messenger?
Yes, I did.
All
Hold on
right.
a second. I'm going to go back and send them again.
Here's
Just
one
don't
of
want to be
them.
seen tonight.
It's annoying, is what it is.
Looks like a white dot, right?
That's not it. Okay,
What-
Preston, I'm sending you the first one. Grab it now. Okay.
Got it? Feeling it?
And there's a video with your phone, Yvonne, before.
Yeah, that's
Before my
Yvonne. That's
phone died,
Yvonne's
yeah.
camera just before it died. Yeah. Okay, this is one of the drones.
Oh, I heard you a slight swear there. Hope you don't.
Oh, sorry. No,
Sorry.
Yeah.
It's good footage, though. It's good.
That is a fucking mothership.
Oop, I better stop that before it gets.
Oh yeah, you don't want to hear me because when I'm tired, I swear. All right, I just sent you 3 pictures you can put up.
All right. Okay, I see 2. All right, let me save these. But don't stop talking because I have to do that.
Okay. Anyway, it was really weird. We were up. How late were we up, Yvonne? We were up till like 1 o'clock in the morning.
At least, Dolly. It was late. We were exhausted.
And then we saw the mothership, the big purple smudge, huge purple. Most people don't realize that if you look at a black sky and you see a giant purple, opaque looking color in the sky, that is a mothership cloaked.
Yeah,
That's
there's a famous musician just actually reported that, by the way.
no kidding. Oh, wow.
Yeah, she's like, look at this. What is this giant purple spot? It was a couple of years ago, actually, but
Oh, wow.
it was Lizzo.
And that
or
was
something like
the
that.
first ship that I saw. Me and my daughter, Cassie, at our house was purple and dropping loads or whatever,
Yeah.
something
drones.
coming out of it, but it was
Yeah.
purple.
Okay. And I'll just send you a couple more. You should have a bunch to look at.
Oh, well, all right. My computer is still acting a little strange, so
Mhm.
trying to go from picture to picture. It's not easy. But there. Let me pull that up.
Yeah.
Let's present. Share screen. There we go. Add to stage.
That's Talata. There's there's the front lights on the right, and then the top of the ship right there, the light array, and then that thing on the left hand side is on the tail. That is 2 drones dropping. They drop them in sets of 2 or 4, and that's 2 of them. You can see the fact that they're tic tacs. There's a space between them. Those are tic tacs.
Ah, here's something from Mike. You always hear about the mothership, but never the father.
That's true. That's true. Where's father?
Yeah. That's a drone.
Just be dad.
That's a drone in the middle, and that's the it's like an energy field on either side of it, and it holds its stasis. It keeps it from falling to the ground until its power source starts up, and then that power source disappears, and the drone is on its own power. And they come out and they come out like that, and it's very cool. There's one where you can see a bunch of drones coming down. There's 4 of them, and the different power fields between them.
All right, I'm saving another right now. It should come up quite easily.
And Talata deliberately followed me from Florida while I was flying. And the whole time I was in Laughlin.
There we go.
There's Talata. See the 2 lights up in the front? When those lights are on full blast, you can see it's actually 2 lights. And there's the arc of the top of his body, of the craft. And I'm going to show you one more picture, and it is Talata's actual body type. And I'll let you see it.
Are you sending me another picture?
Just one more, and then I'm going to leave you alone about it. How's that?
Right.
Okay.
I mean, you can send me as many as you want. I'm here for you.
Okay. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I got to make sure I got the right one. Hold on a second. Oh.
Okay. Yeah, here, let me pull that up. These are cool captures. Damn, so cool. Wow, cool UFO ship. Is that your best UFO sighting, would you say, Yvonne?
It's up there. It's up there with the top. I would say my very best and most colorful one was on Reddington Beach.
Oh, I'm glad you brought that up. That was totally cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
What was that one like?
It was amazing. It was the first time my friend Clark and I went to school together. We'd known each other since 4th grade and had just saw each other after so many years. And we're staying in a 2-bedroom condo on Reddington Beach, just, like kind of reuniting, and just these ships appeared and they were just so colorful. I didn't share any of those photos. Maybe next time.
Yeah, they were rainbow-ing for her. In other words, they were doing unbelievable different colors in real quick arrays, and he was sliding the colors in and out of the field on the craft itself. It was doing one hell of a light show for us, what he was doing, and it was for a while. I mean, they're up there for a while, showing off.
I'm going to pull this one up again because Christine made a comment, which is very Christine. Made a comment. It's very astute. She says, "Wait, is that a pic that the one guy took in Turkey? This looks like the Turkish UFO." Christine.
Yes, it is. Only it's in Laughlin, Nevada, and it is my Talata, and he is who I fly. And I don't admit this very often, but you all can understand, please, that I am the pilot of the Turkey flights. And Preston finally found a picture of me. When they first put the pictures up from those 3 years, they scrubbed everything with me on the deck. They were up for like one day and then they disappeared. And then when I saw them again, they had wiped me out of the photos. Preston is like a dog with a bone. He's obsessive and compulsive about things. And he spent a good, how long?
In a good way.
Yeah, he spent a while looking for anything that would show him me on there because I told him that's me. I'm on board that craft. Okay. And he finally, I was sitting in the living room one day and he came in there and he said, Dolly, is that you? And I looked at it and I went, oh yeah, there I am. And I'll show you two. There's a pic. Okay, I have to send him two because I'm redheaded. I'm totally silver now, but I am a natural redhead. Okay. And back
You
in those
promised you weren't going to send me any more pictures.
I'll send you these two because if I'm going to claim it, they need to see the pic. Okay. I have to do the right thing here. So anyway,
Well,
when
here,
you
let me add
find
this
it-
one. So you just sent me this one, Dolly. Is this from Laughlin?
yeah, that's Talata.
This is the Laughlin?
See
Blow
the
up.
two light. See the two light. No, this is Turkey, but it shows him in a better light. It was a better camera taken. See the two lights on the right and see the light array down the side, and you can see the hook on the end of them. That's where he drops the drones.
Yeah.
Now show
So
the
you
other.
can
There
see-
it is. Same thing.
Yeah, you can see for a reference how similar these are. So you're very observant, Christine. It is the same ship.
Now I'm gonna. Okay, now show him my picture with the red hair, so that you can see. I used to wear my hair real tight, pulled back in a bun, on craft, and I wore a black jumpsuit. Okay, I was pilot and I wore a black jumpsuit.
Hold on a second.
And
Now I have to go back.
you get to see me on
Yes,
board the
you
craft. It's not my full face, but you can bloody tell it's me. That's all he could find. That's all he could pull off the footage that they allow. And I bet it's making him mad that you found that because I think they thought they scrubbed all of it. The first time I saw it, you could actually see me talking back and forth to him. And I stood up at one point and then sat back down in the video. The guy had a very good Super 8 zoom on it, on this VHS camcorder, and they disappeared it. Made me mad.
Okay, now let me see if I can pull this up.
Okay.
All right. I'm pulling up your picture of you as a redhead because you sent it to me.
Okay. Red hair. Okay. I'm a redhead.
All right. And here is a still frame from the Kumburgaz turkey footage, 20, what was it, 2007, 8, and 9.
Right.
And there's the ET.
And that's from 2008. So I was wearing a black jumpsuit that day in 2008. And that's me sitting on the right side there. That's half of me. That's all he could find in the film footage, but that's definitely me sitting there. And I'm talking to one of them.
It's not more clear. This is some of the best footage out there. It's never been debunked. There was one guy who tried so hard to say it was a cruise ship, which is just, I'm so sorry. But it's not.
No.
You can totally tell when the guy who took the footage zooms in and out. It's not just a minute or two. This is very long footage, actually.
Yeah.
If you've never heard of the Kumburgaz turkey footage, you definitely should check that out. That's so cool. It's so cool.
Yeah, it's a good picture.
Yeah.
So
and
cool.
I wanted, when Talata said he was following me, I begged them because other than the turkey footage, I'm nowhere. I mean, it's just really hard for me to have film evidence because I've always been a pilot. And he said, okay, I'm going to show up. I'm following you out. We're going to come down and we're going to let you see. We're going to let people see me. And I said, okay. And he did. He came down for us and he showed up. When he hit Las Vegas, he actually got spotted on radar. He allowed it. And then they got rid of the footage. It makes me mad. It's like trash.
Very cool
Okay.
picture of Dolly.
Yeah. But Yvonne,
Yes.
okay, now I'm going to tell you something because I need you to hear this. When you were healed, I knew what was going on with you. You remember that, right? You were telling me what was going on. Who the hell do you think picked you up?
I don't know, Dolly.
Dolly.
Together in your head. Have you not put it together in your head? You were in
No.
North Carolina, girl. What was my territory? 2018. Who do you think picked you up?
How's she supposed to know? Just say it, Dolly.
Yeah.
You had a medical team up there. I was desperate for you to be better. I didn't want you to have what you had, and you were desperately crying out for it too. And we picked you up. We did
Well,
it.
thank you. Thank
You're
you.
welcome. I've been waiting all these years for you to say something to me, like you recognized my voice or whatever. That was the female talking to you. Was me. I remember it. And the reason you weren't allowed to see me was it would have been too traumatic. You weren't ready then, okay? And it would have been too traumatic for you to see me or realize it was me. They decided that.
Wow.
And the little being you saw was an actual little gray. They're the troll ones. He was a little skinny one, which is amazing to me because you don't often see them. But they do medical things. They're unbelievable, good at what they do. And he brought you back.
He did not look like a gray at all. He had no
No.
features of a gray.
No.
He had a solid body.
Yeah, and they're green. Some of the grays look green, and they're troll
He was
size.
definitely
Little.
human looking. Definitely.
Yeah. Well, you know what a troll looks like, right?
Is that the same sort of beings like Chris?
Ugly? He wasn't ugly.
No, well, some of them aren't. He was probably young, but yeah. And there were three of us. It was me, him, and then another gray. Okay, an AI gray, and we picked you up. You got brought up, and I was desperate because, like I said, you were in trouble. You needed help. You needed help big time, and I knew about it. And don't you think I would have? Do you really think I would have left you alone? Ever? Never.
Yeah.
Don't worry, Yvonne. Dolly sprung something like that on me once because when I had my onboard experience, I'm like, well, all this happened, and it was months later. She's like, well, actually, I was piloting that craft. I'm like, why didn't you tell me? She's like, because it's your experience.
It was his birthday. Yeah, it was all about him. Yeah. It was also the very last time I flew, and it was my birthday too. See, and I wanted to fly one more time before they left, and he got to go.
Oh,
And
I love
out of
this
it.
question.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
so here's this picture. Okay, right, Dolly, you see it?
Yeah.
All right. Here is a question from Christine. What's the name of the being? What is the ET? Is that Mama?
He is an AI gray. He looks bigger than me because I'm sitting way back of him lower. He's sitting up in the window. There were two of them, the two AI grays that usually ride with me. And they don't really have names. They're not, we just don't name them. I was kind of mean when I was younger and I called one thing one and thing two, but I quit doing that because it seemed mean to me. So no, they don't have names. Those two don't have names, but they're
Are they AI grays then?
Yes, they're AI grays. Yeah.
All right. And Dana says, you must read Preston's book about Dolly's experiences on board Talata. It's mesmerizing. Thank you, Dana. And she said, just plug the book. It's called Symmetry. So yeah, if you ever get a chance to check out Symmetry, it's Dolly's story completely. And we're actually going to start putting out part 2 this year.
Yeah.
We still have to do interviews and all of that.
Yeah.
But yes.
Okay, now I want to bring something up because this is important to me. One of the things, Yvonne, that I love about the fact that you're on tonight is one of the things, and I said this to you a long time ago, I've always known you're a medium. A medium knows a medium because we can hear each other, okay? And one of the things that Talata told me about you when I first started talking to you was you're important to them, okay? And I don't know why you don't remember your experiences when you were younger, okay? But you had them. They were real. I know they were real, okay? And one of the things that is important is you know way more than you think you know. And one of these days you're going to wake up, and when you finish all this that you're going through, this transformative thing that you're doing right now, you're going to start having leaps and bounds, and I just want you to keep going. It's important. And it's important because you're already very talented. It's amazing to me. I don't know if your teachers are telling you this, but you are dead up one of the best that I've met. Okay.
Thank you, Dolly. Thank you.
You really are. And I want you to succeed at this because you're good.
Thank you.
I see you doing important things with people. It's important, that you come out and you start talking about it more. And, that's what we want to enjoin people to do. Open up,
Yeah. Yeah. And it's hard. It's hard to, when you're living in the corporate life, to put yourself out there. It's hard. Yeah.
I know it. I did it shamelessly at work. I would just talk. I didn't preach, but I would never cover up what I was doing. Not at all.
No.
The bosses were okay with it, surprisingly.
What impressed me about Yvonne, and I'm not kidding you, is all the ghost stories she used to tell when you were researching and going on all your little adventures and stuff like that. I was like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. I mean, it just blew me out of the water. And then you came to me one day and said, I got a video for you. And you said, you can't talk about it. Am I allowed to talk about it this much? Okay.
She's in the audience if it's the one I'm thinking of.
Okay. I was sitting there and she put it in front of my hands, her little thingy, and she starts playing this video and my jaw turned to glass and shattered right in front of God and everybody, because what I saw was an energy beam come down in a light and a being go up the energy beam. And nobody else has a picture of that. Nobody that I know of. Nowhere at no time.
And this woman has so many videos of it. So many.
My God.
And I've tried to find some on the internet. I'm like, Dolly, this looks like it. And you're like, no, this is not.
Yeah. You've got to have this woman on your show for sure.
Absolutely. Her story is so incredible.
It really is.
You've known her for how long now?
It's probably been 3 years. I think
it's truly amazing. If I was to say and look at any video and go, yep, there it is. This is it. This is it. This is real, honest to God, on film contact. And I can't wait. I want you to come too, because it's you're part of it, with her.
Oh yeah.
Telling of it. And
we're lining up some great guests. So
yeah.
All right. Can I pop up a question for you, Yvonne, from chat?
Okay.
We don't have a whole lot this time, but here's a couple. And here's one from Fun Talks TV. Question to Yvonne. Have you ever, I'm not sure what the word feathered is, but let's just say used or tried with a Ouija board?
Bothered? Ouija board I have not used. I pretty much stay away from the Ouija boards. But you know what? The Ouija board probably is no different than all those apps that I told you about, and shared. The important thing is when you're communicating with spirit in any way, you've got to close that portal. You got to close that door, because you don't know what you're talking to.
Right. And you need to make sure that if you're talking to something that's potentially dangerous, you need to be prepared to repel it. In other words, you have to be wary, make it identify itself if you can, or you ferret it out. Most mediums are very good at feeling the energy of somebody else, and they can tell, and yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've used a Ouija board, but I was with a professional medium at the time. And I'm glad, because I've interviewed a number of people who've used Ouija boards just for, quote, fun, and ended up having some bad experiences afterwards and stopped using them. Oh, yeah, full-on major demonic hauntings.
Yeah.
Not always. I mean, my former boss, actually, when he found out I did this kind of research, he's like, oh, I used a Ouija board when I was a kid. And we stopped using it right away because of what happened. I'm like, well, what happened? He said they were all using it, and the pointer lifted up, the little pointer that you put your fingers on, it lifted up and flew across the room and struck him in the neck. He was watching from the sidelines and hit him in the neck. So he's like, he ran from the room screaming.
I was on an investigation where the knives in the kitchen were being thrown at us. Yeah.
Holy smokes.
You can tick off some spirits, let me tell you.
Yeah. There was, what was the one, tell them about the one that was like on a beach somewhere on the coast in Florida, I think it was. You know what I'm talking about? It was like a big property. You remember that one?
Florida. Was it a fun investigation in Daytona Beach?
Yeah, that's it.
There was a lot going on there. I think the people were wonderful people that lived in the house, and it was in Daytona, but we had a lot of evidence there. A lot of evidence. There's so many other pictures I could share.
Well, you got to come back on, and we'll be a little bit more ready for it. And we'll work
Yeah,
it.
yeah. And if you want to hear about the dark stuff, I do have dark stuff pictures also.
All right. Well, Allison Carr is asking, any bad experiences with shadow people or ghosts? I know you
Yeah,
don't really
yeah,
like to focus too much
absolutely.
on that.
Yep. I have been choked, woken up to being choked and strangled. I have had scratches. I have had bruises on my arms. I have had, at 2 different occasions, seen shadow people in my house. And it's terrifying. The last time I saw them, and they look like there's no eyes or anything. It's just like blacker than black. And they've always been the hooded one. But they just stand there on the side of the bed and are just staring at you. And I'm frozen with like fear. And I remember telling my fiance about it.
Yeah.
And he would never believe me. And at one occasion, for some reason, and he would never wake up when I'd be screaming either. So I don't know if they like put everybody else to sleep or not. But on this one occasion, the dog, we had a Labrador, the dog jumped up on the bed, was over my stomach and just growling and barking and going crazy at this shadow figure. And that woke my fiance up and he's like, what is going on? And he saw it. He goes, what is that? I'm like, that's what's haunting me every night. So never came back after that night. I don't know if the dog scared it off or what, but thank God for the dog.
That's a good story, Yvonne, because the dog sees it and
But
your boy.
the dog slept through it all the other times. So for some reason, that dog woke up that night.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what do your siblings think of this? Do you talk about this with your siblings or your family at all?
Yeah, my brother, we never really talked about it, or, hauntings or ghosts or anything like that. But I think he understands me now. And, he was there when my dad died, and he's had his own experiences with my dad since his passing too. So, and I believe my brother has some abilities actually that he'd like to deny, but I'm pretty sure he does from some of the things he's said. So, yeah.
Right.
My pretty much my family knows. They've accepted it. My daughters, definitely accept it. My daughters, all of them have abilities. My son also, but he won't admit it. I mean, he probably thinks I'm crazy, and pretty sure my son-in-laws do too. But
I feel like one
someday,
day,
hopefully, they will.
yeah, sooner or later.
Yeah.
It's true. What's true is true.
Yeah. One son-in-law, my daughter Sarah, her husband, before they were married, went with us to Bobby Mackey's. I don't know if your viewers have heard of Bobby Mackey's in Wilder, Kentucky. He's on Ghost Adventure a couple times. It's extremely negative activity there. But we definitely saw a lot. And my son-in-law, he had goosebumps. We're doing EVPs and I'm like, do you feel it? The thing says it's touching you. He goes, well, I got the goosebumps and I kind of feel it, but I really don't think it's there. He'd still deny it. Oh, and he was down in the basement and they were seeing the ghost dancing, and everybody saw it but him, though. I don't think he actually believed what he was seeing. My daughter and I had a shadow experience there. So at a certain time at around 1 a.m. in this hallway by the bar, my daughter was sitting there after this experience, which I'll share the pictures. It's amazing. We caught a little demon next to her, and her face is her body's like distorted, but she was recovering from that. She's sitting in the dark, and somebody said, you need to get your daughter. She's sitting there by herself, and it's almost 1 a.m. when those shadow figures come. So I'm sitting there and trying to help her, and her face is facing where the portal is. And I'm telling her, we need to get up and go in the other room where everybody's at. And she's like, Mom, Mom, Mom. And I turn around, and there's probably like 50 of them just circling us all around us, all these dark shadow figures. She's digging her fingernails into my arm. And I'm like, listen, we're going to walk through them. No, we're not going to walk through them. No. I'm like, Sarah, just look at my face. We're going to walk through them. It's going to be okay. And she held on to me, and she walked backwards, and we just walked right out of them. But that was terrifying.
You learn to teach them how to go after them.
We have time for one more question, and then we're going to have to wrap up the show. So I'm just going to pop up a few comments here. Yes, Doxy, I will be doing more stuff on out of body and how to do it. Yvonne says you should do a little
Yep.
Zoom thing.
A little weekend workshop.
Workshop. Yeah, I love
Yep.
that idea. And here is a question from Mike. Do you have a website? I popped up your Facebook on the notes, but
You can share my Facebook. I am certified for the Dolores Cannon QHHT, and I do have a website. However, I'm not doing it because I'm a consultant in the world and very, very busy right now, working out of state actually. So I haven't had time to pursue my career in that. But Preston can share my Facebook if you'd like to reach out to me. I'd be happy to help
what's the
you.
name of the app that takes the spirit pics?
It's Spirit TV. Let me see if I can copy paste this and put it in the thing. Spirit, it's here.
Well, we're gonna.
She says, Yvonne, what's the best way to close the portal?
That's our last question that we have time for, and you only have 30 seconds to answer.
To say goodbye, you are not allowed to be here. An important thing is put protection around yourself before you go and open any doors up, so you're protected. But definitely say goodbye. You're not allowed here. I cut the cord. I cut all ties when you are done talking.
There you go.
All right. Yeah. Okay. Well, we're out of time, unfortunately. So thanks so much, Yvonne.
Thank you. This has been fun. Thank you.
You're coming back. We're going to unpack way more than this. So, all right. Okay, everybody. That was the Light Gate for this Monday. We love y'all. We hope to see you again next Monday. We are coming to you live from the United Public Radio Network at 107.7 and FM in the lovely city of New Orleans, and the UFO Paranormal Radio Network at 105.3 FM. We love you. Namaste, and have fun. Night, night, everybody.